Hey Kelly, welcome or welcome back.
In this video today, we're going to be looking at forageables that are available at this time of year. This time of year being March. It's a good time of year, things are just sprouting out. And we're going to talk about what you can find and where you can find it.
Yep. Let's have a look, shall we? But before we continue, if you're a fan of the outdoors, seasoned or unseasoned, smash that subscribe button, like, share around and all that hype. What you got then, babe?
All right, so just for the record, we're on a mountain, so mountains are fairly slim pickings at this time of year. The higher you're going to go, the less you're going to find. However, we do have some wilted dandelion leaves because they were collected a little while ago. We've got some gorse flowers.
Very nice.
We've also got something that not many people may be aware of. The first little buds that pop out from the bramble, they're you don't want them once they start getting too over leafy. So I'll give you a little example of what I mean by that. Once they start getting a little bit more leafier than this, that fuzziness is really quite nasty on the tongue. But this is probably about as leafy as I would get to pick those. But they make a nice little addition to the salad. What else have we got? Oh yes, and I've been looking for some dock. I mean, dock grows everywhere, right? But the dock on this mountain seems to have been quite heat tarnished. And what I mean by that is when it starts going red, they get really quite bitter when they look like that. So I found a couple of little green ones that I'm just going to shred up really and pop in there. And that's it really. And we're going to chuck that in with some tuna.
Is that stream caught tuna?
Absolutely stream caught tuna. Yeah, in fact, it's stream caught tuna that was flowing down the mountain. All right, let's get a little dish sorted.
Sorry, getting the plate sorted. There's a rami there as well, I see.
Yeah, gonna chuck some of this in.
Cool. We've got some lemon juice under your other leg.
Oh yes. Well, in fact, that's going to require some opening skills.
Yep.
I guess we could call this dispatching the tuna.
People have different ways of opening tins, but I go this way. Done. And there we go. Here's and hers.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Didn't know that one got in there.
Yeah, dandelion.
Hey, little dandelion flower. Do you want a bit?
Nah, I'm alright, cheers.
Not as much available on the mountain as there is on lower ground.
No.
It's just that we wanted to sit up in the sun. We're on a walk, so why not? It's where we are.
Yes.
We tend to forage where we are at the time. But ideally, for forageables for this time of year, you really want to be lower down.
Yeah.
Preferably near waterways. You get the newer stuff tends to sprout sooner around waterways where there's lots of sun.
Yeah.
And lower down. In particular right now, the south of the country is going to be getting a lot more forageables than say the mid and the north.
Yeah.
You know, like to give you an example on that, three-cornered leek is something that will be all over down south right now. It will be ramsons will be sprouting out. You've got St George's mushrooms that are literally just popping up now and should be in full bloom.
Yeah, within the next couple of days. Yeah,
literally within the next few days. So there's more to be had in certain areas of the country.
Yeah.
And in certain, shall we say, environments.
And I guess elevations.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, the higher you get, the harder it gets at this time of year in particular.
I mean, if you look back at our finding a new camp spot video, there was some bilberries up there. Well, that was like September, October time. So that's when they're right in bloom. There's no point us going to the tops of those sorts of mountains, just because the bilberries aren't around.
No, not at the moment. No. But what we have found, as you will see, we managed to get the gorse flowers. There was some with an odd little patch of dandelion. It's quite barren of dandelion actually up here. It's quite surprising because dandelion grows everywhere.
I have and can see some rabbit scat.
Yeah, so I think the rabbits have been enjoying the dandelion.
Yes, got to get there before the rabbits do. watch nature as well. It's probably one of the best things that I look for anyway, because I'm more medicinal, Tara's the more edible. And I will typically look and follow animals where they go.
There is a word of caution there, though. There are things that other animals can eat that we can't.
Yes.
So just because you see a bird tucking into some berries, don't assume that you can eat those berries.
No.
It's not. It doesn't work the same. I mean, we've seen badgers eating rhododendron berries.
Yep.
Well, rhododendron berries are very poisonous. They can be medicinal, we've learned, if they're used the right way. But let's just say, unless you're a pharmaceutical or a what is it they call it, a botanist or whatever.
A botanist.
Unless you're one of those, I nearly said a lobotomist, but that's something completely different. No one's tapping into your brain. But the berries on them I think they do have some.
They got anti-cancer agents in them and stuff like that.
Again,
for
not
rhododendron.
something the average person wants to play with. Put
No.
it this way, we're 10 years in experience, and there is no way that we would touch them.
No, the same as foxglove. You know, everything that's poisonous does have its medicinal values, but I'm going to save that for another day and go properly into that. I think.
Yeah. Because
not a how-to, but I think a more caution. And
where
it can be
caution
used.
can be had.
Yeah.
One of the things that we brought up that we thought maybe not many people are aware of are the bramble sprouts. Those bramble sprouts have got a real punch of vitamins in them because the bramble themselves, I mean, well, they're really good medicinal. You know, lots of people will drink bramble leaf tea and things like that. It's very good for the body. And when you're thinking about those fresh little sprouts that are popping up straight away, those brambles have been pushing all of their goodness into those leaves.
Yes.
So those first initial little sprouts are really going to pack a punch.
Yep. As you can see here, foraging gets a bit difficult on mountain tracks because there are fences. Yeah, we could climb over them there, but do you really want to be going to forage and all of that lot? So it does get difficult sticking to the tracks. Unless you're going to go real deep in, just make sure you're not crossing any fences. So babe, what is the point in foraging? Well, what's the point in foraging? Why do we eat our wild edibles?
Yeah, that's a good question. This part of the year for us is really important. We eat a lot of fatty, heavy foods, what you'd call comfort foods through the winter. And as does everyone, right? We're all renowned for doing that. It's that when you're cold, you want heavy meals. So
meats, protein, fats.
Yeah, meat, protein, fats, preserves as well.
Yes.
We eat a lot of preserves.
Which is a lot of sugar.
Yeah, so for us, when we get to that first sign of spring, because like I just mentioned, that all that stuff that's sprouting out is full of all of its nutritional value. I mean, the whole plant is pushing everything into that new lease of life that it's about to give. So for nutritional value, I mean, you couldn't get any better. It's absolute tip top.
Yeah.
There's so many things as well right now that are available. I mean, my list could go on. But one of the favourites, I guess, for us is hawthorn leaves. I really like hawthorn leaves. Unfortunately, nowhere on this mountain is there any hawthorn.
Nope.
But what do we love about the hawthorn leaves is that they're really nutty.
Yes.
So they've got like a pleasant nutty flavour to them. They really add a nice addition to a salad.
Yeah.
And you want the hawthorn leaves as they're just sprouting out and they're still like a little group together.
Little floret.
Yeah, there'll be like little florets and you just pluck the floret off and stick it in. Love hawthorn leaves.
It's hard going though, isn't it? I mean, like, because you do a lot of effort, a lot of work when we're walking along for not very much in reward.
And I guess my answer to that is to not make it so much a foraging trip as more a collect as you go. So for example, I mean, not everyone's living outdoors like us, so let's just give an example. You're taking the dog for a walk. Now this is a good one to note. So your dog is a really good telltale sign of where not to pick. Okay, so what we do is we watch dog and he'll go up ahead, and where he's peeing, we know that he's peeing over any place any other dogs have peed.
Rescenting.
Yeah, they're rescenting. So if he goes up and he sniffs somewhere and then he moves on, we know that there's very little chance something's peed there. He caught a scent, weren't sure what it was. It wasn't anything important like dog pee, otherwise he would scent it. Then he'll move on. Another little tip that we use is where you've got the edge of a path, so say this is your path and each side you've got your growth, where you've got your initial growth, just pick a bit further back.
Yeah.
Because all your dogs are peeing on this front row. They're not caring about stepping past the front row to get to the back to pee on all that lot.
Yeah.
So it's about thinking sensibly. If you're really bothered and you want to wash your picked stuff, then by all means. Personally, I don't like doing that because it just adds to the wilting.
Yes.
So, and you'll find that even with the sunshine, all that nice, fresh, crisp leafage that you're picking is soon going to be wilted and look absolutely unsalad-like once you've got it back.
It doesn't look like salad in your gut.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all going to taste all right. Chuck some lemon, mayonnaise on there if you want, and some nice strong flavours in there, you know, and you're good for a win.
If you're washing it in a stream, then it's kind of adding to the problem, isn't it? Because you would have that.
Well, this is another reason why we're not too fussed about it. Put it this way. We won't drink straight from a stream unless it's a spring. Now, What are the chances of us foraging and every time we forage, coming across a stream that we can wash our forageables in? You know, I guess that over the years, we've just learnt to get over it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things.
I mean, if they're particularly dusty, though, like, we've usually got a little bottle of water just to run through it so it's not so gritty. When they're dirty, gritty,
If you, particularly roadside, actually, when we're doing roadsides.
Yeah.
And when I say roadside, I'm not talking about a motorway or a main road. We're talking about the little back country roads that you get.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you've got all your farm trucks and stuff. The reason we'd rather use those country roads is, first of all, they've not got as much toxins in them from the road itself.
No.
But the problem that you will have is where the tractors are going through, they're kicking up all the dust. And because they've got all that dirt on their wheels, you know, stuff does get dirty. And it's one of those moments, you know, when you have a baked potato and you realise it didn't get washed properly.
Yeah.
It's like eating sand.
Yeah.
But, and that's the whole thing we've done before, being on beaches, eating sand. Sand gets in everything, doesn't it? The wind blows, suddenly your sandwich is covered in it.
A sandwich now.
Sandwich, yeah, I know, the irony, right? But again, you know, as kids, we didn't make a fuss about stuff like that. Your parents just say, oh, shut up and get on with it. If you don't want it, don't eat it. You know, you're bloody hungry, so you eat it anyway.
It was a 5-second rule when we were growing up.
Yeah.
10, 20, 30-second rule, 2-day rule.
Yeah. It's about being sensible. It's about having some common sense, which I know is somewhat lacking nowadays for some people. But, you know, it's about being sensible. Just be sensible about it.
Use your noggin.
But on the note of what is available right now, well, off the top of my head, there's going to be loads more out there that I'm not covering. I'm just giving you what we use on a regular basis. So at this time of year, same as all year round, there's always nettles. And nettles are great to cook with, and we use it a lot. Awesome.
You can even see some just over there behind that post.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
There's always nettles popping out somewhere. Oh, yeah, there's just some over there. Anyhow. So nettles are given all year round, but specifically for this time, I would say focus on your salad stuff, because your salad stuff's going to be what cleans your system, because it's all those new sprouts, major nutrients, sit with that. So salad-wise, you want things like ground elder. Now, ground elder is available right now, and you don't want to eat it once it's floured. Once it's floured, it can be a bit of a diuretic, and it can also send you to sleep and give you the squits. So I would be careful once it's floured.
Unless you want to give it to your mates.
Yeah, unless you want a bit of a giggle, by all means. But I would leave that one alone once it's floured. But at the moment, if you know how to identify, if you know you've got ground elder in your garden, for example, you want to grab the ground elder leaves before it flowers. And they're great in salads, or if you've finished a meal, finished cooking it, just throw it in and mix it in rather than cooking it in, because it will just fall apart. But that's a nice one. We like the 3-cornered leek. The Ramsons are out right now as well.
They are.
A good rule of thumb actually is if something smells of onion or garlic, it's edible. At least in the UK. I can tell you that is a given. If it smells of garlic or onion, you can eat it. But do make sure you crush, rub, okay, yeah, that smells of garlic or it smells of onion, you're in for a win. So Ramsons, three corner leek, smell like that. Crow garlic, that will be popping up right now. Your chives everywhere as well at the moment. And all of these things, see, they all smell like oniony, garlicky, all edible. Great for salads and great for garnishing a meal at the end for sprinkling on.
Yeah.
We've also got the gorse flowers. Of course, they're available pretty much all year round as well. Even in deep winter, every now and then you'll find a gorse bush that's just burst itself with flowers.
Very hardy, aren't they?
They're really good. They're a really good plant.
Yeah.
Did you know that even your daisy flowers are edible? I mean, I wouldn't say eat the whole daisy because I'm pretty sure there's some parts of it that aren't good for you. But the actual flower, the tops, pluck them off, chuck them in your salad. Not only do they look beautiful, but they're good for you too, and they're edible. So, little things like that. Rosebuds, they're great in a salad. Also make a nice tea, they're good for desserts. Birch leaves as well. I mean, at the moment, none of the indigenous trees at all have started sprouting any leaves yet.
No.
Not round here anyway, but I'm sure down south they probably are.
Yeah, some people do the birch tapping, don't they? We've done it a few times in March, but...
Yeah, although for us, birch tapping is one of those things that we would really... well, because we think that the tree's going to suffer for you taking its sap. So
whether you plug it or not, it's still gonna take a bash from you just wanting a nice sweet drink.
Well, let's just say it may not flourish as well as it did the year before when it didn't have someone tapping it.
Yep.
Maybe, but who knows? Plants are very hardy and good at recovering. Most plants, so especially trees, right?
Yes.
So, maybe not. But for us, the reason we don't do that is because we find water are plentiful most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
And if we've got stuck, which we have done in the past, and there's been no clean water, all we've had is birch, and that's literally all we've had to use.
Yep.
It's sort of... I personally would advise against it because I think too many people go out there doing that thing and they don't do it necessarily very well, and it only takes a mistake and then you've killed a tree.
The one that's that I quite like is the red clovers. Are they red clovers? They're like pink.
Yeah, you get different colours.
Yeah,
you get
pink and white.
Pink, the white, and the purple clovers.
Yeah.
He quite likes those.
Yeah, I like those.
But be warned, those of us of the female persuasion, because clovers can induce
your monthlies.
Yeah. So if you eat too many of them, you could bring on an early monthly.
Yes, no one wants an early monthly, right? No one wants a monthly at all, but it's one of those things. Tara and her headaches. But yeah, it is well worth keeping an eye on your intake of such wild edibles and forageables, isn't it?
Another one it's as you think, isn't it? Suddenly all these other sorrel. Now there's loads of different types of sorrel actually. You've got lamb sorrel,
wood sorrel.
There's another sorrel, isn't there? Oh, I can't remember what the other one is now, but I think there's like 3 different types of sorrel. And they all taste very similar. They've got like this lemony, zesty or apple skin type taste.
Yeah.
And that's around at this time of year. Sorrel's lovely. Again, though, there's a couple of things to note about sorrel. One thing is that if you eat too much of it, it's not very good for you. Again, it's like most things. If you overconsume something and you just eat... But I would say you'd need a lot of it. You're talking about 2 carrier bags worth or something stupid like that. But... it can be bad for you, but the good thing about it is if you're really hungry and you've got stomach pains because you're really hungry, chewing on sorrel kills those stomach pains.
Yeah, we'll get rid of the hunger pains, won't it?
Yeah.
But as we always say, do your own research. Make sure you stick to books. Wild Food UK, home is where your heart is. There's lots of channels out there that can give you some real sound advice.
You can also get those little Collins books.
Yes.
They're great if you're constantly out and about and you want something small to put in your pocket. Those little Collins books are quite good. That's how I started. You
remember in How to Be a Nomad Part 1 that Tara said about? Have a look at that. One of her best bits of kit that she wouldn't have been without were her 2 books. And I
Yeah.
think one of those was a Collins,
One
wasn't
was
it?
a little Collins book and one was a slightly more in-depth book, only because it gave me recipes, the other one.
Fair play.
And I thought, well, it's okay knowing what I can eat, but I don't know what it works with and how to utilise it. And I think that's a problem that most people have nowadays. So that's the real reason why we're trying to help out with some advice here. But what we don't want to do is have you believe that what we're telling you is enough for you to know what you're doing and to go out and do it, because that will be the biggest mistake ever.
Yeah.
You can't just rely on one person giving it a bit of waffle.
No.
And there's so much involved in identifying stuff. It's not just the time of year, where it's actually growing and what it's growing near.
No.
There's sight, touch, smell.
Your senses.
Yeah, I mean...
You know, at least your 5 senses. And there's certain ways, and there's some channels out there, you know, how to taste food. So it's not necessarily putting it on your tongue first. You know, you put it on your lip first. You spend 20 minutes, see if your lip swells up. If it hasn't, then try it on the tongue.
Or sometimes it will start tingling.
Yeah.
If you start getting a tingle feeling, leave it.
Nope. I mean, there's a lot of things that we'll eat and that we forage, but we live this way, so it is only second nature to us. And there has been times, because field mushrooms are up or coming up soon, there has been times that we've been caught out with a mushroom, not before we've eaten it though. It was a funny feeling.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. You go through, you check your food once you foraged it, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that one looks a little bit different. I'm like, oh, does it? And I've picked it up. I was like, oh, well, we'll see if it marks. So I've scratched the top of the mushroom,
Yep.
waited a minute, and then suddenly it started to go a mild yellow. That's the yellow stainer. Well, just to be sure, because it didn't turn straight away,
No.
I snapped the bottom stem and gave it a smell. It smells like a man's urinal.
Yeah.
No good.
No.
Make you sick.
Yep. I mean, there was a mycologist that, you know, unlived his entire family just because he got the wrong mushroom. Same as the farmer that unlived his entire family with green potatoes. If you've got green potatoes in your house or you're buying them from a shop, not good. Not good at all.
I mean, I would call myself an expert when it comes to mushrooms. I mean, I've been doing it long enough, but even I have put a mushroom in a mushroom mix, like you said, the yellow stainer, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I know how to identify if I'm unsure. The great thing about the yellow stainer is it wouldn't kill us; it would just make us real dog ill.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you don't want a rough day the next day, don't eat it.
I mean, I suppose that's the good thing between me and you, because, you know, Tara's always looking for the edibles. I'm always looking for the medicinals. So when I'm honing in on something that I'm going, yeah, so you kind of go, you've got to second guess it, haven't you? It's like sometimes I'll ask Tara, are these mushrooms safe? Because I don't know. I don't know everything, you know, and that's where we split our relationship load, as it were.
But there are still mushrooms to this day that I can't identify.
No.
I mean, it's not many. Well, there's definitely not many of them that I can't identify. I'm pretty good with most.
Yeah.
But there are still every now and then will come across something and go, damn, I don't know what that is. I have to go and revert to Google or get some books out again.
But that's, again, the same as libraries. If you've got a local library nearby or anything like that, go in.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not on the road and you're not living the nomadic life, as it were, get a library card.
Practice makes perfect with the whole foraging thing as well. And it is a lot of it's a leap of confidence as well. A good way to start with the leap of confidence thing is find things that, what I done to start off is I looked for things that I knew that I couldn't mistake. So I looked up unmistakable edibles.
Yeah.
And I searched for those things that you couldn't mistake for anything else. Nothing looks like it, nothing smells like it, nothing else tastes like it. Once you've got those, it's a good place to start because it helps build your confidence a little then. And then you're ready to start, oh, okay, now I've looked at everything. This is definitely what it is. And it's something that you're not too sure about. It does have some things that could be dangerous that look like it.
Yeah.
But you've clarified, okay, it hasn't got the identifying key features of the dangerous version.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you want to look at. What are the key features of the dangerous version? Because if this plant that you're looking at has any of those key features, walk away.
Yeah, I mean, it was when Tara showed me 3-cornered leek to start with. I didn't know what it was. I was trying that and I was like, oh yeah, this is brilliant. And then I started picking daffodils that hadn't flowered yet. And I brought a load of them back, and Tara was like, nope. And I'm like, well, what's bloody wrong with them now?
Smell it.
You know,
Does
smell
it
it.
smell
Well,
of onion?
I don't really have a great sense of smell. But she said, like, no, they're called three-cornered leek for a reason. You know, because the stems are 3 corners, whereas a daffodil is 2 corners and they bevel off to like an oval sort of shape.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a learning curve for me, learning new edibles. You know, think you know it all until you don't.
Yeah.
And you know, she's kept me safe, or not so much kept me safe, but just tried to drum it into me the same as we do with each other sometimes.
Yeah.
Just like Tara said, that practice does make perfect. If you can keep trying with someone that knows, or books that know.
And we test each other.
Yeah.
So I know that he's into his medicinal. So particularly like when we're walking past something and I know it's a medicinal plant, I'll say to him, so what's that?
Yep.
Even if I don't know what it is, just to see if he remembers what it is.
Yeah.
I know it's medicinal, I don't know what it's called, and I don't know what it does, but I will ask him what it is, and then he'll go, oh, it's this, it does this, it does that, it does this.
Yep. It's like I Spy on the road.
Yeah, it is, but we play these games a lot because it's a good way to stay abreast. So Mod will challenge me on my edibles, and I will challenge him on the medicinals.
I'll just pick up random crap. I'll be like, oh, what's this? Can I eat that? You're like, no, I don't know what that is. I'm like, yeah, it's all right, I can eat it. Yeah, right.
No.
You know, but to have a partner or a friend or someone that you know that you can bounce those ideas off of and test each other from time to time, it's a really good exercise to have, especially when you can both stop there and you can do the sniff test, the taste test and stuff like that.
It's a good way to retain it up here.
Yeah.
You know what they say when you're at school, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and eventually it will stick.
Yeah, some people might be visual learners, so it's the best way, you know, being out here and doing it. You see it visually, you get to see it in its different environments.
So just to recap on the video today then, forageables for this time of year, look for your salad stuff. Like I say, you've got your 3-cornered leeks, your ramsons, your new tree leaves, things like birch, hawthorn.
Oak leaves too, you can eat oak leaves, only when they're fresh,
Yeah,
and new little
only
baby
the
oak leaves.
The very first ones that come out.
But do your research, because there's many types of different oaks.
Yeah, and if you eat too many oak leaves, you've got the
astringent values for that, that will stop you from pooping and bind you up.
Yeah. So, again, like everything, just don't overindulge in one edible.
Yeah.
Because, yes, you know, you could cause yourself some problems.
What is it you say to me that your nan said to you? Everything in moderation or something?
Yeah, everything is good for you, so long as you have it in moderation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, to recap, stick with your salad stuff at the moment if you really want that good nutritional boost. Get your system cleaned out. If you're trying to avoid that astringent flavour that you might get from some of the wild edibles, use things like lemon, strong flavours like chorizo,
tomato
fish.
sauce, Tabasco sauce, anything like that.
Yes, strong flavours will help to negate the astringency that you're getting, but you really want that astringency because it's that astringency that is detoxing your insides after all the crap you've been putting in through winter.
Yeah. You're right.
It's a good way to get your body back on a balance, I guess, and ready for the summer.
Stops
right?
it being sluggish and slow over winter, and we all slow down. All animals slow down over winter.
Yeah.
You know, so it is getting ready for that summer, those summer months, so spring, summer.
Yeah. So work with the astringent flavour. Stick things in it that are going to help to either complement it or eliminate it.
Yeah.
One of the things that we learn is sometimes astringency is best battled with bitterness.
Yes.
So lots of salt and lemon for us. Maybe a big blob of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
You know,
if we can find it.
Yeah. Stick with the salads. Be safe. Don't always just rely on one source. Don't rely on just us.
Yep. But any other things that you guys eat or forage at this time of year, specifically on a mountain top? Yeah. Yeah, do let us know. We'd be really interested. I mean,
particularly as at the moment, that's all we've got around us right now. It's like lots of mountains and not a hard. We're more up than we are down of late.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think if anybody has any more mountainous ideas for this time of year for the edibles, then we are all ears.
Yeah, most definitely. It would be good. Anyway, Callie, we're going to leave it there, and hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for our series. We've got some good fun stuff coming up as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we thought we'd break it up a little bit. You know, we
Yeah.
don't want it all being about the series.
Nah.
And thank you for those that took the vote. It was really nice and reassuring to know that that we're doing all right.
Yeah,
You know, that you guys like what we're giving out.
Yeah, it's really appreciated.
We wanted to make sure that our content wasn't something that was losing people, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because it can be quite eclectic on here.
Anyway,
Happy
hopping.